In the heart of Thorne Hollow, where the mist clung to the earth like a shroud, stood an ancient well. Its stones were weathered, and its depths plunged into darkness. They called it the Whispering Well, for it was said that if one listened closely, they could hear the faintest murmurs of voices long silenced by fate. It was here that our tale of darkness began, with a coin, a wish, and the insatiable curiosity of one man.
Chapter 1. The Whispering Well. In the dappled light of dawn, Thorne Hollow seemed nothing more than a picturesque village, nestled in the crook of a verdant valley. Its charm was undeniable, with cottages crowned by thatched roofs and gardens abloom with the vibrant colors of spring. Yet despite the idyllic facade, a shadow loomed over the hamlet, cast by an ancient well that sat at the edge of the village square. The Whispering Well, as it had come to be known, was a relic of a bygone era, its stones moss-covered and its structure succumbing to the relentless march of time. It was said that the well predated the village itself, a silent witness to centuries of whispered secrets and silent pleas. The legend of the well was as old as the cobblestones that lined the square. It was a tale told in hushed tones by the hearth, a story to keep children close when the fog rolled in. They said the well granted wishes, but not without a price that was often too steep to pay. For every wish granted, a misfortune befell the wisher, as if the well sought balance in the currency of human sorrow. Ian McDowell, a journalist with a keen interest in the supernatural, had come to Thorne Hollow following a trail of unexplained disappearances. Each case, he discovered, had one thing in common. The last known whereabouts of the missing was always near the well. Armed with his notepad and a camera, Ian set about interviewing the locals. The baker, a rotund man with flour dusting his apron, spoke of his daughter, who wished for love and found it with a traveler, a man who vanished, taking her heart and her sanity with him. The blacksmith, his hands as hard as the iron he forged, recounted the tale of his apprentice who wished for wealth, only to be crushed under the gold that inexplicably appeared in his home, burying him alive. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of crimson and gold, Ian approached the well. It stood silent, its waters unseen, hidden in the abyss below. The air around it was cooler, charged with an energy that made the hairs on his arms stand on end. With a coin clutched tightly in his hand, Ian leaned over the well's edge. The whispers were there, just as the legend said, a symphony of voices so faint he could barely distinguish one from the other. He closed his eyes, and in a moment of reckless curiosity, he whispered his wish into the void. "I wish to know the truth of the Whispering Well." The coin slipped from his fingers, tumbling into the darkness. There was no splash, no sound to confirm its end. Only the whispers grew louder, as if in acknowledgement of the pact Ian had unwittingly made. That night, as Ian lay in his bed at the local inn, the whispers followed him into his dreams, a relentless tide that promised answers but foretold of darkness yet to come. Chapter 2. The Cursed Echoes. The night embraced Thorne Hollow with a silence that was almost tangible, broken only by the occasional hoot of an owl or the rustling of leaves in the gentle night breeze. But for Ian, the silence was a lie, a thin veil over the cacophony that now filled his slumber. His dreams were a relentless deluge of voices, each crying out from the depths of the Whispering Well, pleading for release, for salvation. Morning brought no respite. Ian awoke, his sheets drenched in sweat, the echoes of the well's prisoners still ringing in his ears. He rose with the dawn, a man possessed, driven by the need to unearth the truth that lay hidden beneath the well's ancient stones. His search led him to the village archives, a dusty room at the back of the town hall where records were kept, some dating back hundreds of years. There, amidst the brittle pages and faded ink, Ian found the tale of the Witch of Thorne Hollow, a woman named Seraphina who, in the 17th century, was accused of dark sorcery and condemned to death by the fearful villagers. In her final moments, Seraphina had cursed the well, proclaiming it a conduit to the nether, a gateway for something ancient and hungry to reach into the world of the living. The curse, it seemed, had taken root, and the well had become a voracious entity, feeding on the desires and despair of those who dared whisper their wishes into its depths. As Ian delved deeper into the archives, the day waned around him unnoticed. When he finally emerged, the village had taken on a different aspect. The locals watched him with eyes that held a warning, their once friendly greetings replaced by cold stares and hushed whispers. "Leave," they said, "before the well claims you too." Undeterred, Ian sought out the one person rumored to have wished upon the well and lived, the hermit of Thorne Hollow. He found the old man in a decrepit cabin in the woods, a recluse shunned by the villagers for his tales of the well and the horrors it concealed. The hermit, with eyes that had seen too much, spoke of his wish long ago for knowledge, for the truth behind the veil of reality. In return, the well had shown him visions of the abyss, of the malevolent force that lurked there, waiting for the day it could break free from its prison. Ian listened, his skepticism waning under the weight of the hermit's words. The well was more than a cursed relic. It was a living thing, a predator that lured the unwary with the promise of dreams come true, only to ensnare them in nightmares. That night, as Ian lay in his bed, the whispers of the well were louder than ever, a siren call that beckoned him back to its side. His mind, once a fortress of rational thought, was now a labyrinth of shadows, each path leading to the same inescapable conclusion. The well desired something from him, something more than just a coin and a wish. And as the moon cast its pale light through the window of his room, Ian knew that his obsession with the Whispering Well was no accident. It was a design, a purpose woven into the very fabric of the curse. He was, as the hermit had been, chosen to bear witness to the well's dark truth. But to what end, Ian could not yet fathom. Chapter 3. The Abyss Gazes Back. The days in Thorne Hollow grew heavy with a silence that was not peace but a smothering anticipation. Ian McDowell, once a mere observer, now found himself an actor on a stage set by fate. The well's history was a tapestry of tragedy, each thread a life consumed by the voracious appetite of Seraphina's curse. The witch, though long dead, seemed to reach through the centuries with a vengeful grasp that choked the very soul of the village. It was during a night of restless research that the spectral form of Seraphina appeared before Ian, her visage as haunting as the tales that bound her to the well. She spoke in riddles, her voice a melody that was both beautiful and terrible. "Knowledge for a soul," she offered, her eyes burning with an otherworldly light. "The truth of the abyss for the essence of your being." Ian, steadfast in his resolve, refused the bargain. He knew too well the price of such a pact. But as the witch vanished, a new terror took root. A child, young Elsie, with hair like the golden wheat fields and a laugh that echoed the innocence of youth, went missing. Last seen playing near the well, her disappearance sent a ripple of fear through Thorne Hollow. The urgency of the situation was a clarion call to action. Ian, with the hermit's cryptic guidance, began to devise a plan to seal the well and release the souls ensnared by its curse. It was a gambit that would require him to skirt the edge of the abyss, to face the darkness with nothing but his wits and a desperate hope. The night chosen for the ritual was moonless, the darkness a cloak that hid Ian's movements as he approached the well. He carried with him an amalgam of ancient relics and blessed artifacts, each a piece of the puzzle that would close the gateway Seraphina had opened. The ritual was a symphony of whispered incantations and sacred geometries, a battle of wills against the malevolence that surged from the well. The air crackled with power, the ground trembled, and the well roared in defiance as Ian laid the final piece, a stone etched with runes of sealing. As the echoes of the last incantation faded, a silence fell over Thorne Hollow. The well stood still, its whispers silenced, its presence diminished. But victory, if it could be called that, was not without cost. Ian lay on the ground, his breath shallow, his body marked with the sigils of the ritual. The villagers found him at dawn, the well seemingly dormant, its threat abated, but the earth around it was fractured, a network of fine cracks that spread like veins. Ian's fate was uncertain, his consciousness lost in the liminal space between worlds.
And so our story pauses, the chapter ending not with a period but with an ellipsis. The well is quiet now, but for how long? Beneath the surface, something stirs, a darkness that waits with the patience of eons. The Whispering Well's tale is far from over, and the echoes of its curse will resonate through Thorne Hollow until the end of days.
If you enjoyed our extended audio storytelling, please give us a like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get more of Dr. Mortis Cadaver's collections. Your support helps us continue to bring you the most chilling and thrilling tales from the depths of Dr. Mortis Cadaver's vault. Thank you for listening, and remember, the darkness is always waiting, just around the corner.